They didn't rob banks and they didn't hit security vans. Instead, they targeted places you visit every week. Supermarkets, petrol stations, even a fire station. And over 5 years they stole nearly £1.3 million in cash. But what makes this case so different is how they did it, because this wasn't just theft, it was calculated, coordinated and dangerously close to costing lives. This is the story of the Kettle twins. A pattern began to emerge across England. Cash machines were being ripped out of supermarkets and high-powered vehicles had been stolen between January 2020 and early 25. And in a shocking twist, emergency service equipment was stolen from fire stations. The police quickly realised this wasn't random, this was organised. And at the centre of it all were 3 men from Liverpool, twin brothers Carl and Lee Kettle, and their accomplice Barry Dillon. This group didn't act on impulse, they operated with precision, and their method was consistent. First came the cars, which were high performance, high speed and disposable. Then they would steal specialist cutting equipment, tools which were capable of breaking into reinforced cash points. Targets they chose weren't random choices. They carefully observed and gathered information to deliberately target supermarket cash points and even a Shell service station. Each site was selected by how close they were to motorways or major roads, allowing for a rapid escape within minutes. Also, they didn't just break in, they adapted. In one case, they were captured on CCTV, climbing onto furniture to disable security cameras. One of the most unusual details of this case was the use of modified fruit juice cartons. They were adapted to interfere with infrared sensors and CCTV cameras. A simple object turned into a tool to bypass modern security systems. Over time, the scale of the operation expanded. ATM after ATM were ripped apart to get at the cash inside. Business after business suffered damage. In the end, almost £1.3 million in cash had been stolen from cash machines. The 6 stolen high-performance getaway vehicles were valued at over £214,000. Over £64,000 worth of specialist equipment was taken from one fire station alone. But there was a cruel, little-known twist. Many of the ATMs were fitted with die packs designed to destroy the cash the moment it was taken. When triggered, the money would be useless. And in this case, nearly £700,000 was contaminated and abandoned, leaving the gang with around £550,000. Still a small fortune, but far less than they risked everything for. This wasn't just theft, it had become reckless. During one escape, a member of the public was injured in a head-on collision. In another, a police pursuit ended in a crash involving police officers. Vehicles were driven dangerously, streets became escape routes for them, and the consequences extended far beyond money, even more serious. The theft of emergency cutting equipment from fire stations meant vital tools used to save lives were missing when needed most. This wasn't just crime, it was now putting members of the public at risk. Police launched a coordinated investigation. It would take 18 months to piece everything together, as investigators described the group as forensically aware. These offences spanned across multiple regions: Merseyside, Cheshire, Greater Manchester and Nottinghamshire. This wasn't local anymore, it was a multi-county operation. Eventually, in June 2025, warrants were executed across Liverpool. Specialist teams moved in and executed dawn raids. The 3 men were arrested and interviewed at different locations. The evidence against them was a combination of CCTV, forensic evidence and surveillance, and they were jointly charged with conspiracy to commit burglary and conspiracy to steal. They were remanded in custody. Eventually, they appeared at Liverpool Crown Court, where the full scale of the operation was revealed. Footage showed the group in action, carrying stolen equipment, disabling security systems and breaking into cash points. The judge described their crimes as well-planned, sophisticated and extremely audacious, very dangerous and deeply damaging. All 3 men admitted their roles. The sentences were handed down. Carl Kettle was sentenced to 6 years and 8 months in prison. Lee Kettle, 6 years and 8 months. And Barry Dillon, 3 years and 8 months. This story wasn't about a single robbery. It was about years of planning, resulting in hundreds of thousands of pounds being stolen. But in the end, even the most calculated crimes leave a trail. And no matter how fast you drive or how clever the planning, eventually you will be caught.